G'day, welcome to Forbes Forum. Daryl Nicholson here. I'm very honoured to have Paul Antonio in with me today.
Thanks,
Paul,
mate.
look, I know you're very busy. Thank you very, very much for coming in.
No problem.
I'm a big advocate and a big fan of yours, and I want to see you get back in for another term. And it's just been amazing. But look, we were just talking before about the water. You had the water portfolio when you were in the council before you got to be mayor. That was an incredible one. So where do you see now? Where's Toowoomba going now? We've got a lot of development happening, but where's Toowoomba and the region? It's not only Toowoomba, the region going next.
Well, let's go back to the water. And I think that what we have in fact done over the last 4 or 8 years, in fact, is we've settled the whole thing down in regard to water.
Yep.
Albeit that we've had to have a prescribed financial model that is very costly. There's no doubt about that. But if you look at the cost of water right across southeast Queensland, you'll find we are not the dearest.
Yep.
Despite the fact that we've built a city on top of a hill.
That's right.
Not
yeah,
smart,
exactly.
not smart if you want to provide it with water.
Yep.
And some of the water that comes to Toowoomba ultimately will come 700 metres up a hill.
Yep. Yep.
And so that's going to be costly in itself. But if you look at the cities and the regions that are controlled by the southeast water grid, you'll find that there's 5 or 6 of those areas who are paying more than we are paying for water. So one of the things that I fought for in the last term was term when I was deputy mayor, was to make sure that we still owned our water.
Okay.
The only reason we own our water, it was too complex for the government of the day to take over, because not only do we have water coming to Toowoomba, but we've got all these little communities, smaller communities, who need water.
Outstanding. You've done a great job with that. And that was a hard portfolio, and you managed that quite well. And look, I remember talking to a guy at Ergon once. He said he was in South Africa, and he said it'll rain one day here, Daryl, and it did. And we brought flood. It brought flood.
Yeah.
And I was in Dalby at the time, and we had 4 floods. Then January 10, 2011 was the big one, and how you pulled together, and we've seen the OCR now.
Yep.
You and I have been out the back there, and I said I don't understand water going under concrete, but
No.
it's come up well.
Well, I think it has. And if you look at the whole flood mitigation program we did, those floods, A, there was a lot of damage.
Oh yeah.
B, there was a lesson in for us to actually get something done about flood mitigation, which we have done. And that includes the detention basins, which were very unpopular as we went on that journey, but I wasn't going to blink. We made absolutely sure that we delivered the detention basins. And if I go out there now and I look at Garnet Lehman or I look at Ballon Drive, every time I drive past, there's families actually enjoying things that weren't there before. So we're happy about that, and also there's a flood mitigation aspect to them as well. So we're really, really pleased about them and the outcome there. The work we've done, over $250 million worth of work done in flood recovery, that's significant, and all that comes together. But we learnt a lot out of that flood. The next flood that we have in this region of that consequence, and I hope it doesn't come in under my watch, but it will happen one day. And the next flood, we will have systems in place, computerised modelling, the whole deal. Remember Cyclone Marcia, when it was coming towards Toowoomba earlier last year?
Yeah, that's right.
I was as head of the the community disaster relief group. As head of that, I knew that if the predictions around Cyclone Marcia were to come true, and that was 8 inches of rain in 36 hours, and the cyclone was tracking directly over Toowoomba, that we were in a position to manage that and keep the water in the creeks. There would have been some minor flooding in some of the areas, but we would have been able to do it. So we know that now. We've got this predictive analysis that we can do of any oncoming event. We know what the moisture level is in the ground. We know where the creeks are, and so we feed all that in. We're in a far better position now. That was a wake-up call. 2011 was a wake-up call for all of Queensland, and most local governments have responded.
Oh, brilliant. And the campaign's going well?
Well, I'm happy with it. I think that there are a lot of lessons in every campaign. Campaigning is pretty tough because people come out there, and if you listen to some of the candidates, can I say to you that when you're an outsider and you came to Toowoomba and listened to some of the candidates, you'd bolt. You wouldn't stay here because everything's wrong. But everything isn't wrong. The last 4 years, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of job opportunities for young people, and there are a couple of legacies that I want to leave. And I think we've ticked all the boxes in those 2 areas particularly.
Great. Look, as I keep saying, folks, this is very serious, this election, and we're in a position now that the city's come a long way, and the outer regions as well. 10 for council, 10 councillors you've got to vote for, and please really do your homework. My sellers have been asking me who to vote for, and they've been watching my videos, and I want to really thank you again for coming in today. I know you've got a bit of competition too. There's 4 others running. 4 others
running for the mayoralty, and I'm certainly happy to run on my record and what we've achieved in the last 4 years. And I think the outcome will be okay for me, but one never knows, so we've got to accept it. The 11th election that Paul Antonio's been in his life. I've won them all so far. And I'm looking forward to another 4 years. As mayor of Taunton.
Excellent. Okay. Saturday week, you got to vote, so make your vote count. Paul Antonio, I want to thank you for coming in today.
Thanks,
are you coming down to the park run on Saturday for Braid? You're going to make that, do you think?
I'm hoping I can, but I've got a bit of other responsibilities Saturday mornings, and I
know you're an advocate of that, and it is a big day for Braid. We're going to remember Braid, wear our orange. I've got my orange t-shirt organised, so look forward to that. But Paul, once again, I know you're busy. I'll let you go. Thanks for coming in, and vote 1, Paul Antonio. Take care.
Guys. Thanks very much.
Bye then.